Okay, so we're gonna attempt here now and proceed to connect all our LEDs that we mounted in the front and in the side of the scooter. And the way we're gonna do that, since these are like very powerful LEDs, every single one of these ones are specified by the manufacturer as a power of 40 watts, and the yellow LED bar is a 72 watts. So I think we should be okay with the front one as long as we are not running like running everything at once. You know, the ones in the sides are more like auxiliary lights, so each light is gonna have an individual system with a fuse and a relay, and that's why we have all these boxes here, because those are harness cables that are very high quality. See, as you can see, we got the buttons here, and I'm gonna put this button on my handlebar, so each one in each side is gonna turn one of the LEDs on each side, so that's gonna be pretty cool. And we're also gonna be attaching the knee pad where we're gonna put all the switches and the connectors. We're gonna be also putting a USB slot with a voltmeter in there, so we got some nice USB chargers. These are the switches I'm gonna be using, waterproof, and I got a yellow one for the yellow bar. Got those nice switches. These are the ones we're gonna be using. All the harness cable come with a switch, but they're not waterproof, so we're gonna proceed and open these hubs. These things are pretty well made. They come with all the heat sinks, the fuse, and the connectors. Okay. Very nice. That come with all that stuff. We come with the relay, the fuse, that's what connect the battery. Here's where we connect the light, and we got the switch here, which we're gonna be switching that for the one that I just showed you. But it's a very well made harness cable. This is actually made for the LED bars for the Jeeps and, you know, for the off-road. Very high quality, man. I highly recommend this thing. So we're gonna be plugging each of the lights individually with one of these harness cable, and that's why we got a lot here. So we got this one, which is only one lead. They're pretty nice. Come with the fuse, the relay, connector, switch. Very simple, very well done. Here we got the 2 leads. Here we got the 4 leads here, 1 and 2. They all run one switch. That's the cool thing. It seems simple, but you see all the cables that we have to run now. It's a lot. So 3 harness cable of 1 lead and 1 of 2 lead. So we're gonna be running and connecting this whole directly from the battery. We're gonna start and proceed to disassemble the whole bike. Here we have the harness cable. This is the one with the 2 leads. This is the one we're gonna be using for the 2 little ones in the front. You can see here are the connectors. So we're gonna proceed and test everything before we start mounting everything, so we'll make sure everything works nicely. So for testing purposes, I connected the one with the 2 leads to the 2 little ones. You can see here, we connect with the connectors that come with it. Connect everything, we got the battery there and the switch, and boom, we got light. They're extremely bright, these things. So now that we have that connected, we're gonna proceed and start connecting all the lights so we can connect everything together and see how we're gonna pass all these cables through. Because there's a lot of cables, so keep going. Okay, so after disassembling the whole bike and passing all the cables through, it took me more than an hour probably, because it was a lot of cables, you know, figured out everything, where it's gonna be placed in the fuse and the relays, because it's gonna take some space. So I tried to do it the best I can, you know, try to keep everything as organized and clean as possible. If you want, you can, you know, mark the cables with some tape so you can guide yourself which is gonna be which one with the switches and everything. Well, as you can see, I have passed all the cables to the corresponding position where the lights are gonna be located. I have already made the connectors on the lights, and as you can see, it's a lot of cables that we're gonna be needing to hide. I have placed the relays over here. As you can see, everything looks pretty tight, but I was able to pass everything through. How I was able to locate the relays right in front of the cylinder head by using the same screw that holds the floor plastic fairing. So hopefully there is any issue with those. The only one that I see there is the 4 relay. If you're not gonna be using all of them, that's the only one that I think is gonna be hitting the cylinder head when it, you know, compresses shock. So I'll be testing that and give you an update. That was the best location I could find at the moment for all those relays. If you can find a better position for that, you're more than free to give a suggestion. Drop it down below in the comments. As you can see, I have passed all the cables through, you know, use some zip ties, try to keep everything nice and clean. I have located the switch. We're gonna be putting the switch on my handlebars. So let's proceed now. I'm prepared to drill all the holes for the buttons. So at the end, everything went out pretty smoothly. As you can see, I have managed and I have mounted all the lights successfully into the rack. And you may be wondering how I managed to mount this whole system, this whole setup. And the way I did it, I used a metal bracket from an old Yamaha NT07. So this is actually what holds the plate of an old motorcycle. As you can see, this is the plate holder for that bike, and that used to be here holding the plate with the reflectors on the side. So I literally grabbed that piece, the bracket, the metal piece, and I just use it for that without any modification. This is where it used to be the reflectors, and this is where it used to be the plate. So it's pretty simple if you have one of those. This is another bracket from a TV that I bended, and I managed to put my little camera there. I'm still working on that because I have that cable there. I'm not gonna be able to put my rack down, so I need to pass that cable underneath this little tube, so I'm gonna be doing that later. But this is pretty much how it's gonna look, and this was like the best way I could find to mount this light. Everything is pretty stiff with that metal bracket. The one in the sides, as you can see, they look pretty nice, pretty clean, and they turn out pretty nicely. See? The relays are set here as I showed you in the video. I haven't had any issues so far. I have been riding this bike for couple of months already like that. It's really nice to have those, and the way I mount these lights is by using the metal bracket that comes with the crash bar that holds the crash bar here on the sides. They come with this metal bracket that you can actually screw that into the screw that holds this the floor rack, the floor piece, the plastic fairing. There's a big screw that holds here, like around here, and it goes all the way down here. And I actually drill another hole because it's held by a single screw, so I actually drill into the frame in the inside another hole with a screw, so it holds the light pretty stiff. So you can see I have the other one here on the other side. This one is looking a little down, and I'm still trying to figure out a way to, you know, point that straight, because it was gonna hit the plastic fairing here and the piping of the water pump in the back. So I'm gonna still have this one temporary like that, but it works pretty nice. All the relays are down there. The only one that I had issues with it was the one that I showed you, the 4 relay, the one that it was like really on there. As you can see, there's the metal piece left on there. So that one got hit by the head of the engine while riding, like within 1 week, and it got messed up. So I have to remove that and find a new place for it. So I'm still not sure where exactly I wanted to put it, so that's still on temporary place. So I'll recommend finding another place for the 4 relay. So if you're using 3 relays, you're good to go, as I have them right now. But if you are gonna use all of them, you probably want to find a better place for the 4 relay, because that one is getting hit, the cylinder head. So that's pretty much it. That's how I install this LED setup into my Vespa. So make sure to click that like button if you like this video, subscribe to the channel for more great content, and share with your friends. See you in the next one. Thank you.